And welcome back. Today we are doing a resin for beginners tutorial, just the basics. If you're interested, you've been looking at it a while, you want to make gifts for family, whatever your reason, I wanted to do a simple little video on the basics, how to do it, and what you need. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here are some of your basic supplies for doing resin. So of course, we have our most important, our PPE, my respirator mask, and then I have nitrile gloves. Make sure you have nitrile because the other ones can absorb the resin through it and you don't want that. Then we also have safety glasses. I don't always wear them, but it's good to have just in case because you never know. And we also have baby wipes, which really help with cleaning up any spills or anything like that. We have our resin, of course. I use Let's Resin. I really like them, really great. I also have a mug. It's my resin mug. As you can see, it's filled with water. And so what I do is I heat up this water just enough, not hot, not burning, nothing like that, so that when you do mix your resin, you can put it in there and it helps get rid of all those bubbles. Then we have our cup. You do not have to have one that has the measurements. This is just what I have. You know, it works for me. I don't actually use the measurements on it. But I also have, a popsicle stick to mix everything with, and then our color, and then most importantly is a scale. So you can get any sort of kitchen scale, as long as it can do grams, fluid ounces, that type of thing, you will be good. We also have an alcohol spray, which you can use to pop surface bubbles, and a heat gun, which kind of helps with getting bubbles that are maybe a little bit more deeper or trying to bring them up to the surface. So that's kind of a basic of what I have and what I use. Do not skip out on the PPE or you will get resin. So yeah, that's what I got. I will be doing a voiceover for the rest of this video because you can't hear me in a mask and no one wants to hear a muffled resin talking. So here we go. Okay guys, let's get into it. So first, make sure you have your PPE, and if you get annoyed with me saying that, then you probably shouldn't be here because PPE is important. But first things first, what I do is I go warm up my cup of water. I only fill it just a quarter of the way, and I only do between 30-45 seconds. And then this is really helpful for beginners, or if you just have a hard time remembering anything. I write down how much resin I need, and then how much of part A and how much of part B. And so once I do that, I get out my beautiful part A of resin. We get our scale, and I always make sure to zero it out. I use ounces. You could use grams. It might be a little bit more accurate, but I just like using ounces, so that's what I do. And here I am going to measure out 2 ounces of A. Also, take your time. Don't make it a race. You don't want to overfill or do more than you need to because you want to make sure these numbers are accurate, because if not, you don't get very nice finished products. Then we go in with our part B, and I make that up to 4 ounces. So, like I said before, go nice and steady. Don't need to win any races. The quicker that you do it, the more bubbles you might get in your project. So it's just good to go slow. Now it is time to mix. As you can see, they are not fully mixed yet. They're kind of murky. That's the kind of look it gives. So what I do is I just give it that little water bath. If you're not sure how long to mix it for, you can always start with 3 minutes and then kind of go from there. Basically, what we're looking for is clearness within the resin to show that it is completely mixed. You want to make sure that you scrape down the sides as well and the bottom and getting it all incorporated so that it looks kind of like this, very clear. There's little bubbles and whatnot, but that's okay. We don't want any streaks or anything like that. Otherwise, it's not mixed and it could cure weird. And no one wants that because resin is expensive and we don't like messing up if we can help it. Another option with the heated water, the water just kind of helps to not have as many bubbles and helps it to mix a little bit better. You can also stick the jugs in water for like 10 minutes, but personally I found it to be more efficient just doing the little mug method. So here I am just checking out my mold, making sure I don't have any weird, specks of dust or anything like that in it. And then we are going to take our color. I'm using a Celeste Blue from Rolio Pigments. Really, really like them. They have really pretty colors, and I quite enjoy using their products. Something else I forgot to mention, you can also use like a tiny little spoon. I believe I got these on Shein. They're really cheap. It was like a pack of, I don't know, 6 or so, but super great little things to use just so you're not using a whole big spoonful. Or you can use a popsicle stick. It's whatever you got. And now we mix. The best part, I love seeing the colors just kind of blend in to the resin and just mix up and make this like delicious looking concoction. Please don't eat it though, because you would die. But enjoy it with your eyes because it is beautiful. Any colors that you do. And this is just a simple, basic resin tutorial. You can do whatever you want. You can add like glitter, you can add flakes, like whatever you want. Make it yours. Ah, look at that color. Gorgeous. I love it. So I'm just using a cute little geode type mold, just something simple, nothing too difficult. And really with this mold, it doesn't have too many issues with bubbles. You can kind of just slowly pour it in and there shouldn't be any. Sometimes they'll be up in the corners or anything like that. But if you just give it some time, spray it with the alcohol, that'll get rid of most of them. At least with this mold. Other projects that have more intricate molds or like curves and bends in the mold, you have to be a little bit more careful. But this one, pretty easy. Pretty basic. Anyone could do it, I think. Here I have my 91% alcohol. Just want to spritz the top. It just gets rid of any of those surface bubbles. I'm also just kind of turning it around, looking to see if I missed any spots. You can tell if there's like a white little dot or whatnot in the mold. That is usually a bubble. And so you can either like squeeze the piece to kind of get it out or use like a heat gun or something. I didn't for this project. I just used the alcohol spray, but you can if it's like a coaster or something like that. And I have these really awesome little like food net covers. There's like a pack of 3. They're really cheap on Amazon. Oh yeah. Take these. So that is it, guys. It's really honestly pretty simple if you just get it down to the basics. Don't let it scare you. There's obviously going to be mistakes. Expect it. It's going to happen, but as soon as you figure it out, it's such fun to do. Like, I enjoy it so much. I love making gifts for my family, like running my own little Etsy shop. Like, it's a joy. So hopefully this helped. Let me know if you have any questions or if I missed anything or you want me to touch on anything in the future. But yeah, thank you so much again and have a wonderful day.